Okay, everybody. Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. And of course, we're going to be time constrained again. I will be sending out the handout from Bethany's presentation. I'll email out that tonight with her email. And she has indicated that if you have any questions of her at any time about houseplants, that she, as any master gardener would, is happy to help. Um, so it's great. Okay. All right. We're behind schedule. We're never going to get back on schedule. We're something have to be squeezed out. I'm going to go through my comments quickly because you're going to get emails on these things. But I did want to spend a little time on the farmers market. The farmers market is back. Shadow is no longer running the farmers market. She decided to step down, so I will be taking it over on an interim basis, and we will be at the farmers market in Toano this Saturday. If you're an intern and you missed a Saturday, I will be in touch with you to get you rescheduled so that we can get back in the format. We're doing a number of things. We'll be doing farmers markets in Williamsburg. Williamsburg has welcomed us back. As many Saturdays as we want to be there, we'll be there. But we also want to maintain a presence in Toano, and we also want to do New Kent as well. And so we're building a calendar for that. We will be, every farmer's market will have a robust help desk. We'll be having a tablet and a hotspot there, just as so we can do the same things remotely at the farmer's market that we do at the help desk. We're getting all new tents with our logos and the very professional image that we should be projecting as professional master gardeners that we are. Every market will have an educational component associated with it. It's one of the reasons why we're doing subject matter experts, is that, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. There can be, it could range from a display board to actually somebody making a short presentation and taking questions. I could see Scott Walls talking about growing tomatoes, or how he protects his plants with the various devices that he uses to protect his plants from the animals. It could be on pollinators. It could be on trees, depending on what the season is and what people might be interested in. And so Ann Hunt is working up a calendar of educational features, and we're going to want to attach subject matter experts from this room to those, and welcome your participation in the farmers market in that way. And we're going to be looking for volunteers. And so I will be sending an email out. I don't even know what I have here. And there it is. So we're going to be sending an email out to solicit volunteers to know what level of interest you have, what markets you'd be interested in volunteering at. It certainly will drive how we schedule events. You can pull your phone out and click on that QR code and then be able to answer the survey that way. But I will be sending it out as an email as well. So farmers markets, years ago when we were in Williamsburg, it was just such a fun, festive, filling experience, and I want it to be that way again. There's no other way to do it unless it's that way. So I'll be welcoming your interest in participating in that. And I don't plan on running it forever, but I'm hoping to turn it over to somebody, or co-people, or somebody to run the market in New Kent, somebody to run the market in Williamsburg, someone to run the market in Toano, so it can be a shared responsibility. If I could get enough people interested in perhaps being on an infrastructure team to be responsible for getting the market set up and taken down, that would be great as well, because I don't want people to feel they can't do the market because they're physically not able to, to carry tables and chairs around. we're buying all new tables and chairs. We're looking for lightweight but durable. Any questions? And you can always email with your question. Yes. Now, there shouldn't have been a sign up for May 10th because that's a plant sale. So we'll be rescheduling, and I'll be emailing. I have the list, and I'll be contacting you to get you rescheduled. Okay, moving right along. Still looking for project leaders here. It's a wonderful garden. It's a wonderful history, and the Alva and Kay are in place and will nurture a future leader or a team of leaders through this whole season, so you can see what they do, how they do it, uh, and so that you can get off and running and good start next year. I hate to see this garden lost because it's a beautiful garden. We have a field trip that is Janet Fender is doing the organization. You can mark your calendar. September 11th, we'll be going to Lewis Ginter, and I think we're going to Maymont as well. Yeah, we're on the Maymont as well. Uh, Murmur in the crowd. Did I miss something? No. Okay. We haven't gotten there yet, but we'll make sure that you know. Um, the library has invited us to participate in the summer reading program. Has anybody done that in the past? I'll be sending an email out on that. Isaiah has. With details on that, so that you can, if you're interested in doing that, they're looking for both master naturalists and master gardeners to participate in that. Sure. I don't know. Uh, the library also does a seed exchange. Has anybody done that? Seed exchange? Don't pass. Okay, great. Uh, they're also interested in our participating in that, and I will be sending an email on that as well. Elizabeth, are you here, Elizabeth? Not that Elizabeth. Where are you? Stand up. Elizabeth, say your last name. Nice, thank you. Is interested in it's not an approved project, but she is interested in putting a team together of master gardeners who would be interested in collecting soft plastics like plastic bags, with the idea of being able to have those converted into benches for our gardens. And and I'll send an email out with that with Elizabeth's contact information. And if you're interested in participating in an activity like that, Elizabeth is running it. So she's here, and so you can see her. And if you know where she's sitting, and if you want to talk to her afterwards, there she is. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I guess that's it. So let's do minutes, treasurer's reports. Well, I guess we'll do minutes first. The minutes have been distributed. They've been sent out to everybody. Is there any, if there's no comments or corrections, do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Vicky's motion to approve, Bob second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Great. I'll hear when they oppose. There's no sound. Linda, you want to come up and do this?
Since the financial close of business for April was yesterday, I wasn't able to provide all the information regarding the interest that we earn at Live Oak Bank, and I have that information today. We earned $86.20 of interest on the money market that we have at Live Oak, which gives us a $29,229.64 balance there, of which $27,000 of that is capital reserve. And that's the update for that. Is there any questions about the cash flow for April. That's the inflow, and this is the outflow. Questions? Okay. We have a check for the 4-H camp. It's a scholarship that we created in 2023. We, Isaiah, want to present this check to you. Yes, Marion's gonna. You want where? You're closer to the stage.
First of all, I'd have it facing the other way because you need a light on the face.
That's a good idea. That picture.
Wait for the check. So this check is for $760, and it will fund 2 camp scholarships for this year.
I know you spent the time. Let me just quickly say thank you. I really appreciate this and the youth that are going to be a part of this program. We've already identified. We've been working directly with social services to identify youth who would not have the opportunity to go to junior camp outside of this opportunity. So this is already allocated. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Let's continue to grow this partnership and work together in the future. Thank you.
Okay, Dot doesn't have a report, but she does have pins. And so if you think that we owe you a pin, see Dot after the meeting up front here. Opportunity calendar, there it is. If you're looking for hours, starting to fill in. Lot of all those days of the week, there's things that you can do. Next month, Gary Griffin will do a little short presentation on the Clareberg Baker Garden, which is a very nice, manageably sized school garden. Does any project manager have anything they want to say about it? Anything that they're doing in their garden that they feel they want the membership to hear? Okay. I know we have Pollinator Palooza coming up in June, so we'll be talking about that at our next meeting. Was I supposed to say? I was supposed to say something. No, I don't. No, but we had the conversation and I forgot. Can you come to the mic now? Come to the mic so people at home can hear you as well. I'm sorry. I think I'd asked you to send me an email, and if you did, I have too many emails.
Hi, I'm Liz George, and Jim Campbell and I are the co-leads on the pollinator garden over in Veterans Park. And we would like you to file this date away in the back of your mind and bring it back out after the plant sale is over. And that date is Friday, June 20th, which is going to be our second annual Pollinator Palooza in conjunction with the Parks Department longest day of play on the summer solstice. And this is a very kid-friendly event. Last year was a huge success. We welcome all volunteers to come out and help us especially if you enjoy working with kids' crafts and activities, and you have knowledge of native plants and pollinators. And we're going to be sending out a sign up genius at the end of this month. So please consider coming out and helping us. It's only from 9 to 11 that morning. So we're going to be done by the time it gets super hot, and everything is going to be packed into only 2 hours. What you can do right now to help us out is collect 14-ounce clean cans and paper towel and toilet paper, cardboard tubes. This is something we're collecting for a kids project. Okay. And I have some flyers that you can put up. We ask that you only take one if you know for sure it's got a dedicated place. It's not going to get balled up and thrown away, and you can post it ahead of time. So see me after the meeting if you would like a flyer. Thank you.
Order that on June. Gary, you want to talk about plant sale?
Yeah, when you get the slides in. Let's go to the next one. No, okay. We're good there. Okay.
Okay. It's Mike.
Okay, got it. Okay. Well, in another week, here it is. All the planning we've been doing for several months, almost a year, will come to fruition. Tables will be delivered a week from today, a week from tomorrow, from 9 till noon. You'll be bringing your plants properly cared for, properly labeled, and they will be properly inspected at quality control and accepted for sale. I've had several people ask, when can I bring my plants? When can I bring my plants? 9 till noon, Friday the 9th, period. We don't want them left at the gate Thursday night or 2 o'clock in the morning. And we don't want them 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We will not have. This was last year's thing that he put up. Where's the clicker? Yeah, there's no Thursday. That was last. Okay, go back to the. Just go back one more. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have, and I guess I didn't get it in time, a whole slide deck of rules and regulations for your participation in the plant sale. This will be on Better Impact. Please take a look at it before you participate as a volunteer in the plant sale. I have only 3 rules. First one is safety. Nobody gets hurt. That includes you and any of our customers. Second one is safety. Seek a personal safety with sunscreen and insect repellent, things of that sort. And the third rule is safety. I cannot emphasize safety enough. We're going to have carts, little kids, dogs, walkers, wheelchairs, take into consideration all of the safety factors in a garden environment that was not designed as accommodating as a lot are in the current situation. Dress appropriately, show up on time, be knowledgeable of what you have to do. Sign Up Genius still has a few slots available. There are a couple that I'll mention. We have a few still left in the, that's number 2. in the budget or the financials, still need a couple. We need several in the directing traffic. And with the directing traffic, as well as all of the other jobs, they all say other duties as assigned. So if there's not traffic issues that we need to address, there's going to be other things to do. So we need those slots filled. And we need a transport vehicle other than one SUV, bringing all the stuff back that needs to go into the storage shed on Monticello, all of the tents and the uh, paraphernalia that will need for that. And also, we have a couple overachievers with plants. Jim Presley has 200 to 300 plants, 300 plants. And they won't all fit in his car. So we're adding a truck to the pickup on Friday morning that isn't in for better impact to assist with that. I also have a couple hundred that need to be picked up. We need a truck and driver and loader. Okay. 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 Kimberly. Kim Owens got it. Okay. Okay. We also need carts. Uh, we have found that people buy a lot more if they're able to get a cart as they come in and just fill the cart rather than walking around with two plants and that's it. So we have found 20 is a workable number. We have 10 committed right now. So if anyone would please bring their cart, times are located on Better Impact. We'll have someone there to take them, identify them, and pick up as well. Yes. We will see what we can do. So the answer is yes. Okay. So yeah, the needs, we need carts, we need additional slots, particularly in traffic in the trucks, and some cashier help with that. I think all of the other questions that you'll have will be answered with the slide deck that's on Better Impact. Do take into consideration that all of the master gardeners are bringing in plants, and we're looking probably at about 2,000 plants in a 3-hour window. Please don't all show up at 9 o'clock. The line, trust me, if you do, will last 3 hours, and the last person will still be inputting their plants at noon. So we have found that there's always going to be some of the early folks, and a lot of these are going to be the folks that are working on other jobs during the morning. But 10:30, 11 seems to be a good time to bring your plants. If you don't have a way to get your plants to the plant sale, let me know. And everybody's got my name and number and all that sort of stuff. I could go on and on. We won't because we want to get out of here. Any questions, problems, comments? I do have additional plant tags. Every plant needs a plant tag, either one that's handwritten, directions that are on Better Impact, or the little nursery ones that we provided during the starter plant, foster parent plant program. Any questions, problems, comments? You should be notified by each of your team leaders for a little training session or at least a discussion on what's expected of each of these slots, particularly for the class of 2025 that haven't done this before. You'll be asked to either get together or at least chat together. So there are no surprises Friday morning or Saturday. Questions, problems, comments? Last chance is the last meeting before the big deal. Well, thank you all so very much for your help and cooperation for this plant sale in any and every way, either caring for the plant from seeds, transplanting, or donation of your time, or donation of your garden treasure. Tom has a rental truck out in the parking lot, so if you didn't drop your stuff off, instructions will be in here what to do with it next. Don't hesitate to ask questions, but I want to sincerely thank you for making this a success. I'm sure it will be financially adequate, but more so fun and an opportunity for all of us to get to know each other than standing up in a room and just seeing who's who. Good luck and pray for good weather. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary, for your leadership. Well, we're pressed for time. And Luke has a presentation on lace bugs, which we're going to have to skip this time. He's going to have a bug of the month next month, but somehow we're going to get this presentation out to everybody. I know I have lace bugs and I was really interested in this one. Anyway, but we have a second presentation, and that's from our own Patsy McGrady. Come on up, Patsy. So subject matter experts. Yeah, I want this part of the meeting to not just sort of be this boring business, but I want it to be interesting, entertaining, and most importantly, informative. And one of the things that I've learned as a master gardener is sometimes you see things that you don't have answers for because maybe the last time you ever thought about it was when you were an intern in class. But I want us to feel more confident when we're doing home visits or we're working in our own gardens to be able to identify insects and pathogens that are adversely impacting plants. And so Patsy is going to be appearing before us to talk about some of the pathogens we deal with, and Luke is going to be doing insects. But Patsy, it's all yours.
We'll try to keep it very short.
Well, we have 10 minutes. So
Okay, which is
here you go. Oops, sorry. Did you want that?
yeah, go. Okay, we're going to talk about rust this morning, and rust. Hopefully, this will be like Cliff Notes version. When we talk about pathogens, we're talking about either fungi, bacteria, viruses, or nematodes. Nematodes are little tiny worms, you remember. So they're a little bit the exception with the other microorganisms in terms of what they are, but they actually cause disease within the plant. The symptoms of rust are described up here. The signs, you'll see these spots on the plant that are rust colored. That's the name. They may start out as orange, turning brown, yellow, or purple. What you see on the top of the leaf is the damage that the fungus is causing to the plant, but you'll also see tiny little dots on the underside of the leaf, and that actually is the spores of the plants.
What will cause is distortion of the leaves. The leaves may eventually fall off as the fungus steals the nutrients from them. It's caused, the interesting thing really with rust is most pathogens, you get down to at least a genus or a species that causes the damage, and it causes it to a fairly limited number of plants. With rust, there's many species of this fungus that can cause this kind of damage. They all come under a certain order, but underneath the order, you have the families, the genus, and the species. So there's actually over 7,000 species that can cause this damage, but all species cannot cause damage to all plants. This is the list of susceptible plants from the Pest Management Guide from VCE. If you look on the internet, you'll see additional plants to these. I assume that the plants that are in the pest management guide are the ones that most commonly get rust in the state. I added two to that were not included, and that was berries and rose. Roses get this very specific kind of rust that they only have, it's only one species that causes rust on the rose plant, and it does not cause rust on any other plant. So if you have rust on your rose, you don't have to worry about it getting on your snapdragon or your crabapple tree. However, one of the most difficult kinds of rust, and that you hear about the most, is cedar apple rust. And that addresses, it infects plants in the rose family, but not flowering roses. So it most directly impacts apple trees and also crab apples and serviceberry. And I had a landscape love visit a couple of years ago where a homeowner had to remove a serviceberry tree because the rust was so bad they just couldn't contain it. But what's interesting with cedar apple rust is that it has to have two hosts. Starts in a juniper plant, such as the red cedar trees we have around here. And you'll see these kind of orange gooey stuff on that plant. That creates spores that goes to the apple tree. The apple tree then creates spores that have to go back to a juniper tree. So the cycle of that fungi requires two plants, which that was kind of interesting. Okay. If you see rust in your garden and you have a plant that's not on this list, then you don't have to really worry about it getting rust. But remember, as with all fungi infections, there is no cure. You're only working to prevent the spread of it. You want to avoid the infection. One of the biggest things that cause fungal infections on plants is a humid environment, moisture on the leaves, because the fungus requires moisture to grow. And so you want good air circulation. You want to avoid overhead watering as much as you can, except in the mornings. And also avoid over-fertilization. The reason for avoiding the over-fertilization is just you'll get new growth that's very tender, and that's more susceptible to the fungus. And how do you manage it? You get those infected leaves off the plant. If it's a branch that seems to be largely infected, cut the branch off and apply fungicide to the non-infected parts in the plant. Don't go get your fungicide spray out and spray the leaves that have these spots on them. Doesn't do any good. You're just wasting the fungicide. There are organic and homemade ways to control this. One is using baking soda, the rate of 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. So that's pretty simple. The other one I came across is to use milk, 40% milk to 60% water. This, I'm sorry, kind of grosses me out. I can imagine is the smell of sour milk in your garden. But neem oil is kind of the medicine oil of the plant world. It's good for a whole lot of things, and it is a good fungicide. But try and use it not when the bees are out in the morning and the evening, because it can't hurt the bees. Chemical controls, I'm not going to even try and pronounce these names. These are from the PMG guidance. There are 3 chemicals that you would use on trees, 3 that you would use on ornamental herbaceous plants, and two of them are in the same group. The PMG lists those chemicals, and it also lists some examples of commercial products that contain those. Hopefully, you really want to go to the chemical controls as the last option in any of this. The control of the environment, taking away the infected parts, using fungicide on the not yet impacted parts should help you control this. Okay, takeaways. Rust is caused by a very large number of species of a particular kind of fungus. Multiple in a lot of fungal infections, there's only one species that affects one given group of plants. There's many more species that work here with the plants, but still, they won't affect all plants. So you don't want to go spreading fungicide all over your garden if you've got plants that just aren't going to be affected by this. Okay, that's it.
Okay, that was great. That was fast. So we're going to be storing these things online, so there'll be reference material for you. I'm going to ask Luke to come up and do his presentation. And if you need to leave to go to another meeting, you'll understand. But this is something that's prevalent right now, and so that's why we're doing this. It's timely. It might take him 10 minutes to do this. 5 minutes to 10 minutes. He said 5, I said 10. And once he's complete, then we'll be adjourned. Luke?
Good morning, everybody. So I know we're a little pressed for time, so I'm going to do this a little rapid fire. As most of you may know, I have a bit of a background in entomology, so I kind of want to do a little spotlight on an important bug in May. And so the one that I'm doing today is lace bugs. So the lace bug is from the order Hemiptera, which are like the true bugs. Its family is Tingidae. Adults measure typically between 3 to 6 millimeters, and most notably, they have a sculptured netted appearance, as you can see on that picture right there. It has like the veins on its wings. The eggs are usually small, but they're identifiable by their elongated cylindrical shape on the undersides of the leaves, as you can see right there. They resemble black chimneys. Adult lace bugs on deciduous plants overwinter in protected bark crevices and branch crotches on the host or on the ground and leaf litter. They become active in the spring just as the host resumes plant growth. On broad-leafed evergreens, lace bugs overwinter as eggs are laid on the undersides of leaves. Eggs hatch in May in Virginia, and 2 or more generations may occur during the growing season. The nymphs are typically smaller, they lack wings, and they often have erect spines. One of the most important things I wanted to mention during this is that there's a difference between the lace bugs and the lace wings. They are similar in name, but lace wings, particularly their nymphs, are beneficial predators, whereas lace bugs are considered pests in the garden. Minor pests, but they are detrimental to certain plants. Lace wings have long wings, as you can see there, that are held vertically like a tent along their sides. The lace bugs are flattened. They kind of look the same in terms of color and laciness, but the lace bugs are flat-winged. For damage, the lace bug damage first appears as yellow spots on the upper leaf surfaces of affected plants, and they feed underneath the leaves, but they kill surrounding cells as they feed with their piercing, sucking mouth parts, causing yellow spots to appear on the upper sides of the leaves. The first yellow spots that appear are very similar to mite damage, but the spots made by the lace bugs are much larger. The lace bugs produce numerous brown droppings that resemble dots of varnish. I think that's varnish on the underside of leaves. The top picture right there, that is yellowing and stippling, feeding damage on sycamore, and then the bottom one is feeding damage on azalea. So the different hosts that the lace bug like are azalea, rhododendron, sycamore, Japanese andromeda, and other broadleaf evergreens, and many deciduous trees and shrubs. But these are the main ones. For control, the lace bug control requires careful monitoring of susceptible plants early in the season. If lace bugs are found, apply control targeting either adults on deciduous plants or nymphs on broadleaf evergreens. Spray the undersides of the leaves where lace bugs hide. Check for lace bugs several times during the growing season in case populations build or resurge. And for specific control recommendations, of course, uh, look at the PMG guide, or for commercial plantings, consult the Horticulture and Forest Crops Pest Management Guide. For the most part, IPM, such as physical, biological and cultural control, are probably the most important. So for physical, you could even spray down the leaves of the plant with a hose with some forceful water, especially when the nymphs are on the leaves. You can just wash them right off. For cultural control, you can just plant your plants in a certain way, so where more resistant plants are along the less resistant plants, so as not to make them spread. And then for biological control, it's actually interesting because lacewing larvae are actually good predators for lace bugs. So if you have lacewings, you can take care of the lace bugs. And then you also have, of course, ladybugs and other predaceous insects. Some important lace bugs in Virginia. They're also uh, in North Carolina. So I got these from NC State, my alma mater. So these are, the top left one is an azalea lace bug on an azalea, of course. Then you have a sycamore lace bug on the top right, a rhododendron lace bug on the bottom left, and an adult oak lace bug on the bottom right. So it depends on the host plant that they're on. They look pretty similar, but they have small, slightly different colorations and structures on them, but they're all lace books. They're about 2 to 6 millimeters. They're really small, smaller than lace wings, I would think. So yeah, thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know.
You want to do a crossword puzzle?
Yes.
All right, good. Number 2 across, that's a bunch of letters. Their habit of burying tidbits of food helps propagate dogwoods. Very good. Number 4, the dogwood is a state tree of how many states? Well, it's 5 letters, right? But it's 3. Blog director for our stellar newsletter, The Colonial Master Gardener. The newest edition is just out. What? Wait a second. Blog director. That's Elizabeth who writes up, Elizabeth McCoy. All right, number 8, Cornus offers improved disease resistance. Hybrids. Cornus hybrids. Cousa is a species which are blooming right now. They're magnificent. But Doug Talamay would tell you that they're only a host supported plant for like 8 different species of butterfly and moth, whereas a native dogwood is like 116, just to show the difference between native versus non-native. Let's see. Dogwoods are host to these busy individuals in early spring. Pollinators. Number 11. The U.S. has gifted dogwoods to this nation twice as a symbol of our friendship. Japan. We have their cherries. They have our dogwood. A new rival of Cornus, I think it's supposed to be Florida, is Cornus Cousa. So native dogwoods bloom first and then leaf out. The Cousa leaves out, then blooms. So downwards, botanists call dogwood berries, drupes. A modified leaf which grows at the base of a flower cluster. 3. Where's it? Oh, a bract. Our master gardener, resident expert on measuring the size of trees. Greg Brown. Let's see. Small twigs were used as this hybrid implement by early colonists. That's right. They were also used by Native Americans. So they would cut the branch, they would chew one end of it, And when you chew it, the fibers sort of sort of look like a toothbrush. They clip the other one on a sharp angle and use it as like a toothpick. And I demonstrate that when I do Colonial Williamsburg Arboretum tour. I demonstrate that to people. And last, dogwoods often start in part shade, but then reach for the, yes, they do. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're adjourned.